My name is Scootin. I'm VOD reviewing Love Tempest as he plays with Vicious Soup and Tsunami. This is this VOD is from October 17th, so yesterday. From what I can tell in the lead up, they're not a set roster at this point. So what that tells me to look out for is communication errors, just minor stuff that comes with not playing together for an extended period of time. Let's get into it. I do apologize. I'm kind of experiencing a bit of a head cold at the time of recording, and yeah, let's get into the VOD. Alright, so they go with Wraith, pretty meta pick, very meta. Watson, she's seeing a lot more play on the new map now that people are getting more comfortable with the zone rotations, and a Pathfinder, another mobility support. I think this is going to be a pretty standard comp going forward in Season 3. Alright, so plane is traveling northwest from Lava City start.
Vicious, you wanna go lava?
And they're calling lava early? Okay. Supremely early drop. Doesn't look like they're being contested, so that's good.
House behind the big one.
So, alright, right here already, they've elected, they see they have it free. They've elected to split loop, cover as much ground as possible in the early looting phase. That's good because, you know, you get the initial looting done over quick, and you can get your rotation loot started, your loot rotation a lot quicker, and be able to beat other teams to their points of interest. So say a team lands Dome, for instance, and gets contested, their loot rotation out will be slower because they have a whole another team to either rotate or deal with.
One team Dome?
Right there, yeah, they called one team Dome. He lands, see a team landed Geyser.
Yeah, team went through that cut there.
So to give you context here, this is the map. They landed Lava City. They know one team's Dome. Loot rotation for Dome is going to be towards sorting for the most part. Lava, there's 50-50 really. I mean, they could go lava, but you have buildings here to loot on the way into sorting, as well as various pill pods. I think that's the smarter rotation on Dome, so they're relatively safe there. They're hit with the option of going through this cut here, depending on if they get lucky on the loot ball for a vault. There's a vault in this location. I think more reliably, their loot rotation is going to be towards the Geyser team. Okay, Tempest is a controller player. That's interesting. Movement is a little choppy during the looting phase compared to mouse and keyboard, but I don't think that's too big of an issue if you land uncontested, obviously. You don't lose a whole lot of time there. Electing to stay scout, smart. Got close and poke. What I like to see teams do early is you're covering a lot of ground, but you're covering it individually. Start figuring out what your ideal setup is. Let your teammates know. Get a lock on those attachments early. Try to split up ammo types if you can. At least early, and then you can transition into stacking, obviously depending on backpack space here. So he elected to go... Yeah, he elected to go full close mid.
First floor of this building.
I'd like to see somebody on his team pick up longbow, charge something for very good long poke, just to kind of bring up that deficit of his individual range. Alright, so they got 2 blues. Armor's pretty good here. What I like to do, especially over an extensive time on the maps, especially with the new one, I'd like to start analyzing drop spots in the sense of keeping track of what armor types you land on and where, or like where you land and what loot rotation path you take, just to keep track of reliable armor situations, because guns you're always going to find. There's a lot of times where you can kind of get screwed and be stuck on white armor for the majority of the game. It's not a good spot to be in because it kind of forces your hand. You either got to third party a fight and try to get that loot, or you have to play like rats the whole time. So it really limits your options. So the fact that they're on 3 blues now, so yeah, they're in a good shape. Alright, so it looks like they've already started figuring out their loot rotation.
4 to 8 in my building.
They're going towards Geyser. Smart.
Hold on. Yeah, it was in this building right here.
Might be something good this time.
Remember which floor?
First.
Probably on Geyser. We could go.
Alright, so he's elected to go R9 PK. PK doesn't have a whole lot of ammo space dedicated to it. You don't really need more than like 1 stack of shotgun. The R9, however, does take a lot of space. If that's the case, I'd like to see one of his teammates be running like something like wingman PK, something that frees up inventory space for grenades, just because they're so crucial in fights.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it.
Alright, I'll find it.
Alright, so here they're losing a little bit of time, just not keeping track of attachments. I think they're looking for a sniper scope.
Oh, we could have that.
Dropping H.
Here, level 1.
It's fine. I got a 2 to 4.
I'm gonna find this for you. And you're gonna use it. Found it.
Optics here.
Alright.
You still need alternator or no?
Yeah, I found an alternator.
Okay.
So I like this Geyser loot rotate. They got out of there relatively quickly. Oh wait, here's the loot ball RNG. Alright, no key, not the end of the world.
Okay, there's 6.
Still gonna pop it on yellow, and I think if he gets chest piece here, they're in good shape. Helmet, that's arguably even better early game. I'd like to see that switched over. So it's a little bit of theory crafting right here. I'd like to see you stacking helmets on Wraith, just because Portal is so crucial to get out of sticky situations early. Like if you roll up on a team that just hit a vault, you're facing 2 golds and a purple, you need to get out or win the fight. A lot easier to get out than to overcome such armor deficit. Just the sheer fact of fast heal on gold is just so hard to overtake early game with early limitations. You also have the option with this early in the game, like this is a lull period where they're on a loot rotation. They have the possibility of having a team Geyser, so maybe this is the reason why they haven't yet. But if you're early and you're still getting ults up, you don't really have to on this setup, on this particular comp, but especially on others, you can pass the helmet around, make sure everybody gets their ult ready for the first initial engagement.
Yeah, I need stock and anvil.
So here they are starting to really communicate with each other about what their needs and what their ideal setup is.
Geyser ending maybe? Oh, charge rifle. Popping a purple mag.
Alright, so right here's the map. They just mentioned Geyser ending maybe. Very, very possible with this circle that's shown. The fact that they're keeping track of circles, that's already a great sign. It means they've already got the fundamentals of interpreting Apex zones down. or at least started. Like they've got a an idea. Obviously, it's still very early on the new map when it comes to experiencing all of the zones and all of the possibilities. So I'd like to see if can't wait to see if they're right on this one. I think it's a good interpretation of what the information has been given so far.
Heavy back here.
I'll hold that unless you need that.
Dropping a shit ton of heavy here too.
Might be a geyser ending. We can go set up.
Drop that.
Need it.
Alright, there's a purple one over where I pinged those cells.
Where's that at again? I wasn't
In
paying
the
attention.
dome.
Let's go.
Or no, it's actually right on the track. Right on the train track. Right there.
Yeah, we need to find more cells.
There's 2 cells in that dome.
Yeah, I can't hold that right now.
I have 12. People just flew in right here on me. They went left.
Okay, so they did right now they've spotted the first team, the Geyser team. I'm assuming this isn't the same team that landed here, otherwise they took forever to loot this place.
No, he's leaving. He's leaving. Just let him go.
No, I meant like
Oh yeah, we can definitely body him.
one fish. Let's start
Okay,
Yeah, right here. On the right. On the right.
I like this. As far right now, you know that one is split.
He's got gray. The guy that's flying.
Alright, yeah,
I think we start the fight a bit earlier, boys.
there's 3.
Lifeline's over here.
Yeah, all right, right here. Perfect. So what they do is they call the they a little scuffed. We'll say that. They start charging in the air. Obviously, if you hit those, yeah, that's great. Good way to start the initial fight if you can hit that, but it's a risky shot to take. What I'd like to have seen is them cover more ground, since we got an R9 PK right here. I don't know what Tsunami's kit is, but I'm gonna assume R9, just due to the common used weapon in the current meta. Super strong, can melt somebody very quickly if you get the drop on them. I feel like the play here, don't do the initial charge, cover a little bit more ground and get both of these players. Like right here, Tsunami's in a very forward position. Get both of these R9 players up there and ready to take out the person that's split from the group. By charging early, you gave them time to regroup here.
There's 2 to the left.
Oh my god,
Alright, so they're doing a very good job of anchoring. They're playing as a group. Tsunami went forward from his original position. Tempest moves up to back him up, and as you can see, Vicious comes up behind to fill that spot. So they're moving as a group. I'd like to see if this fight starts turning them continue to move
Purple almost cracked.
fluidly like that. Good job of avoiding the grenades. Initial nade spam. Alright, so cracked right here. Focus that target.
Throw it low.
This other team's doing a very good job of giving multiple targets.
give me cold seven. Give me something.
Good job. Ooh.
I'm manning.
She's gotta be. Oh, shit.
Alright, right here, he's anchoring the fight while the med gets off. And they dual peek. Peek from different angles at the same time. Very smart. A smart fight execution. A little bit. I think it started a little sloppy. Just a little bit, but nothing goes perfectly. Nothing's made in a vacuum. Not every fight's taken in a vacuum. So right here they got armor upgrades. They got a purple out of it. Gold barrel stabilizer, like. Oh, they got a gold armor out of it too. Alright, so they got gold, purple, a blue. They've got all the meds in the world, all the attachments they need. They're set up to win this game. This is their game to lose. If they interpret the zones correctly, this is their game to lose.
Oh my god, no. The purple energy extend right down there, but you can't get it.
Alright, so right here, they just spotted a vault key. There's a vault relatively close. It's through this tunnel right here. You can see it in the same screen. I think they grabbed that and they risk it. I think you risk it. Because you've got enough health over a team rotating in with blues or whites to just... And the fact that you're running 2 R9s. At least right now, right? I'm not sure what Vicious is running other than charge. But, yeah, you win those. Like you win those. You risk it for the vault key, get the backpack space, carry all of these meds that you just got. I think that's the play here.
Hey, someone grab that bulky quick to see. Oh my god, I'm fucking getting disco called. See if this one's been open.
It's not.
Yeah, it's unopened. That's the play, boys.
No.
Send it.
Yeah, I don't know 11 shots.
The only thing that I didn't like about that is
Play if you find some.
they were all kind of staring at loot boxes at the same time. Usually have one person Overwatch take turns looting. So I think they played the fight well.
Nocturnal, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Really? Dude, no wonder they're playing so fucking smart, dude. I was just about to roll over them.
They must not be
And
very
then the
good.
raid just like came out of nowhere.
Oh, we got her solo too. I should have just pushed her.
Ooh, gold on me.
So,
I
it's
opened
a
the vault.
gold armor.
Oh
Oh my
You
god,
yoinked
you should have seen what I just did.
Yeah, okay.
You should have seen what I did. Like that's
2 golds, a purple.
Like
Yeah, this is their fight to lose. Everything they could ever want right here.
Let's hold somewhere outside, like this.
Yeah. One
Okay, I want to see that again. Right there. Okay, so they called this compound, and I really like this spot. Not only for the fact that you got your back against the wall, you can if you clear this like area in the back, you can get up on this building. You got a headshot angle. You can see people coming at you from every direction, and with the zone shift, you know that it's going to be like roughly this area, about where they pinged. I would say probably a little bit front, probably about like between the Y and the S. So it's going to be like around here. This map looks a little off actually, but spacing wise anyway. But I like this spot because you basically isolate 2 angles behind you and mostly to your right, because if they come from this tunnel, you have a main entrance and you have a side door. Like you can land shots in a hallway all day at this level. And then on the left you have a rock wall. You've got minimal cover here because this is where they just took that fight essentially, right? Like you got some boxes, you got a tree, you got a truck. Like, I mean, yeah, the people can portal in on that, but it's not like people are going to get there for free without you knowing. Like, you're going to be able to see all sight lines of this area from this position. That's a very strong power position for this area. I like the call to go there. That's very smart.
Yeah. One of these. Hold one of the good ones, Vicious. You know what I'm talking about? The ones that have like only one opening at the top.
That's not those buildings, I don't think.
It's the circle
Maybe it
ones.
is.
It's the circle ones. It's
I'm
not
gonna get
these.
more
You're right.
stuff from their boxes. I need nades.
Yeah, I'm coming with you.
I don't have space in front of.
Alright, so what I'd like to see them start doing,
That's a point.
so they've got a rough idea where circle's ending. See, what is this, 1048? Alright. Let me put that in there. So, 1048, they've got a rough idea of where they are essentially wanting to set up shop, right? Like they've got a Watson. The whole idea of a Watson is you get to your spot early, you set up shop, and you just chill. You get a lot of poke in. You're the behemoth that everybody is afraid to rotate into. Now, they found their spot, and not only is it in a very good location, very strong power position, but it's right where they just dropped a bunch of armor and meds. What I'd like to see them do is set up on the roof of this building, or set up inside of this building, would be even better. And ferry armor in. Ferry all those extra meds, all that armor. You've got tons of hot swaps. You got tons of meds. There's no way to lose that. I mean, other than just straight mechanical failure. It's that like they're in such a good position to win this game.
I have 3.
I have 2.
I dropped 1.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
no.
no, not in there, not in there, not in there, not in.
What?
Oh, they just scuffed. Yeah,
I can't get in the water.
No.
yeah, they just scuffed a battery. That's unfortunate.
There's a lot of wait, there's a turbocharger Devo.
All right.
I'm screwed. I can't.
Here's the same issue from before, right? Is like they're all staring at boxes. No one's keeping an eye on not only the route they just came from, but this entire open area that they left for a fair amount of time. Other teams at this level, especially like other teams in scrims at least, and definitely tournaments, they know how to interpret zones just as well as anybody else. Like, I mean, everybody's wanting to be in the same position.
Hey, at the back.
Someone needs to be overwatching and make sure they're not being walked up on. But they're all worried about a busted battery, worried about grabbing everything that they need. They haven't made any decisions to ferry loot yet. All right, right here.
I'm chilling on this house.
Come on.
He's
All right, I don't like this. You call the team close and you're still changing weapons. I think you just full send what you got. You send what you got, defend your spot, then you go back to looting with Overwatch. That other team wouldn't have gotten nearly as close if you had somebody up on the roof keeping track of like what's happening around you.
47 blue on the bang.
oh my god.
2 have blue.
Yeah, Tempest's still not in this fight yet, but they're buying him plenty of time.
Copy blue. I'm gonna get inside.
Yeah, this isn't a full commit. That's not as bad. It's not a full commit, but it definitely could have been had. I think it was Vicious that called it out, hadn't spotted it when he did. A full commit there, and you got a controller player standing still looting in a box. It's not a good situation to be in.
No, bro, I don't even know what I'm doing at this thing.
Good poke. That was blue.
How do you... Oh, dang.
I think that was blue. What was that 1207? Yeah, that's blue.
One has purple.
Just a missed call.
Oh, dang.
Kind of a temporary hold.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, so this is all just posturing here.
Yeah, if we,
The-
we could push it,
Yeah,
probably.
this is all just posturing. I don't think you commit on this. You don't know, like right here, everybody's looking the same direction. We don't know what's happening here. You don't full commit this. You're letting them know, hey, we're here. We know you're there. Back off. The ult on the roof is a good idea. It keeps you from getting bang ulted or jib ulted, which aren't heavily played in the current meta, but it's still a possibility. Basically negates those ultimates. You still keep your roof control, as well as nade spam. Nade spam is very common.
Goodness.
Yeah, we need to get hits though.
I'd like to see another one set up inside once you abandon this one and just have your charge be on roof control. I don't think you commit this.
I'm just gonna refill. I don't know if we take this.
Nah, just refill.
Okay, that's smart.
Pathfinder? Dude, stop. Just click on me. Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Nick?
Hey, let's go. But you good? We can furious game. Dude, do I? Well, you have charge rifle. You should take the diva. Actually,
I know none of that.
I don't want it, but I'll keep it. Whatever.
So he's playing something he's not familiar with. Is that what I'm getting?
You're comfortable with.
I'll try it.
Of course.
I'm
Yeah,
just
letting
joking.
you know that shit's kind of fucking cracked.
Wow, is she on the tsunami?
Yeah, tsunami.
Hey, I don't got the controller, dude.
I'm not gonna.
That is cracked.
I don't got the controller.
Team here, one's got gold, one's got blue.
Alright, so right here. This is something that I like doing. And I feel like every team has to have a fallback plan, an Alamo spot. What I usually refer to it as. What I would like to see is right now, he's got zip up. He's had zip up a while. Zone coming in, you know you're going to be in this position for a little bit longer. Especially, he's got gold helmet, yeah. Yeah, you definitely get ult back up. What I'd like to see him do is zip back to these pods, these little pill pods here. As, even if you don't take it, right? Like, it's a avenue of escape if somehow you do get pushed off roof. If you get overwhelmed, it gives you an out. Something already pre-set up, your next one's going to be charging in. You're going to have charge on the roof the majority of the time. You're not going, like, there's minimal window to have that zip used against you. I think you send it, in my opinion. Cause like up here, that whole right side, you only have to watch that man door and the main entrance of that tunnel. Where Tsunami's looking now. I'd like to see that.
They rotate down to here somewhere.
We should just hold.
Yeah.
Cause as it stands, we are zone 3 closing in right now, and or zone 3 closing in a minute and 30, and he hasn't ulted yet.
In this corner.
So they're talking about moving to this building.
Corner.
I don't like that one nearly as much as this, especially with as much as
Yeah, it ended over there, right? Or did it end?
yeah, I don't like that idea. Just, I mean, it's not a terrible idea, but there's a lot of zone covered in this tunnel that, like, a team comes out of tunnel, take your spot, or even set up shop at the main entrance. Now you're voluntarily pinching yourself.
Let's go now.
Oh wait, people just moved over there.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just hold this. We'll just hold this.
So a team had the same idea.
Comes later, it's fine.
Oh yeah. Dude.
I think this comes down to like zone knowledge here. I think they're banking on zone ending in this area.
You could place ult like right here, right behind this wall,
Cancel that.
or like I don't know.
Forget that.
So right now,
Yeah, somewhere.
I don't like this. You've got 2 doors to the back left and the back right of where Tempest is right now. So your charge is relatively safe. Oh, they've got their charge on their Watson. Right, yeah. I guess in that sense, Wraith's even a better pick, to be honest. Because like Wraith can queue out of like pretty much any situation close range like that. You've got 2 doors. You get hit hard, Q, we'll just walk in. You're fine. I think right here you send Wraith to the roof just to keep eyes, because as it stands, all 3 are just watching Watson set up fences. There's situations where now you're in a situation where you got to rely on sound, which is notoriously bad in this game.
That could be A, because then we just like chill behind this and then
Yeah.
Like, it's good that they're getting on the same like plan, like getting on the same page here for their defenses on the inside. But I think that can be seen, like, that can be explained from Watson's point of view. Like, just, that comes down to team communication. Put trust in your Watson player to make the defensive setup, and the rest of you need to be on lookout. Yeah, he's right now here. He's decided to look through door. Still a very narrow field of view, but at least, you know, you can't get walked up on the front now. I just don't like being in a situation where you're relying on other teams to keep teams from pushing you. A lot can go wrong there.
Oh, we don't have a door here. Rip.
They still haven't ferried any of the meds.
In the water.
Haven't ferried any meds, any hot swaps.
Match up with Fury's team. All right, let's go.
They have a rather large building to deal with on fencing. Alright, so ring 3 is closing. 15 seconds.
Gold armor pathfinder and door.
Yep. There's people over here too.
Let's go this
Oh,
way.
I'll get fucking baited.
Hostile over there.
are they okay?
People high ground.
Okay, so you know where at least 2 teams are.
Super high.
I think we'll have it. Oh,
Okay, zone shifted, you're still in.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
we still have the building.
Yeah, we still have zone.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. We hold this and then we go in later.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the play. That's smart.
100%.
No, it's gonna be at the open, I think.
Yeah.
I'd say it's going to end like this area right here.
Kinda right here.
Yeah. There's a team high ground over here though, so
Might be something good this
Yeah.
way.
kind of want to
We'll contest
poke
those
one
after.
shot. One
Oh, you
shot.
can charge rifle this guy.
Yeah, he's in the open, Vicious. I have a good angle.
Where?
He was just up there. Like a little bit below my pan.
Oh, that's I was shooting at him. He has gold.
I hope they're keeping track of what teams have gold.
You can poke that?
So you know left team has gold, you know right team has gold. With this meta, it's so weird. Like gold, So like with this meta, it's so weird. Gold is like so common place that like you almost expect at least one person in every team this late into a game to have a fast heal. It's a little weird like that. Alright, so right here you see a team pushing in right then, I think.
Okay. Oh, they have all gold?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of golds over there.
I don't think you lose. Yeah, you gave up sight.
I think that's what I
I'm assuming your roof is still, yeah, the roof's still watching.
I can port it.
You don't port that.
No. If he has gold,
Okay.
he can just leave
I know, but he's like solo, like alone.
for
No,
now.
there's another one. Up.
No, you don't port that. That's too aggressive.
We can nade them out after. Like, I
Yeah, I
still
said we
don't
hold our height. I
know.
have a really good push damage here.
Alright, so right here, you know a team is tree.
Over there. That would have been.
You know a team's tree, you know a team is at the compound you wanted to be. There's 4 other teams unaccounted for.
I'm watching the tunnels.
So he got pegged, he came in to recharge. If he started this fight on blues, he could have just recharged the blue in a shorter amount of time and then had the purple to hot swap. Like, for some reason, if they get just W keyed right here, he's gonna have to pop a cell, which is gonna take a little bit longer, when he could just look down and grab the purple and go. Always prepare for the worst. No like
Worry about caves.
preemptive zip lines, no armor swaps, no meds on the ground from the
I have 2.
plethora of bodies outside from the initial fight.
I'm dropping a phoenix.
I can't even grab it.
Okay.
So he's charged up, you can go back to peeking.
And on it too.
As long as you take armor trades, you win these because you have a Watson.
Longbow, he's not nice, man.
Yeah, you got hit, but you got information at least. You know that they're at least watching you.
Vicious.
Where? Oh, I
Come
see
in,
him.
right here. Right here.
Okay, so while he's... So right here, while he's healing, at 1904... So while he's healing, the other 2 teammates are doing a very good job of team shooting. So basically what their whole job is they know his teammate is hurt, has to heal, doing it the slower way to preserve meds, which you'd be surprised, probably very like you'd be surprised. It's very useful this late in the game. So I mean, they're doing a good job of making themselves seem bigger than they are.
I'm gonna see if I can get him.
I'm gonna nade him.
Because I guarantee the team at tree is counting the amount of times they've tagged purple and are keeping track of like cracks
I need you.
just for med usage alone. See, even right there, like an 18 tap,
Shoot at me.
that's at least that's a mini that has to be used.
I have height too.
So you know tree team got zone. Yeah, you know tree team got zone. They are at least, I think they called out 3 gold. So that's the team to beat right now. They're in zone. They're Watson set up. They used Wraith Portal a fair amount of time ago. If gold helmet, then it's going to be back up for the next fight, which isn't going to be very detrimental in this close quarters, but I mean it can throw a wrench into the works. Yeah, I mean, well, I think what the play here is on this zone shift in a minute is you portal in close to like one of these boxes or the truck or something, and you Watson your perimeter from that, and you basically play close angles and try to force them to push off tree to you. You're down to 6 squads left, so you, the tree team, that's 2 plus the team that took the compound from you, the building from you. So you know where 3 teams are at least. Other 3 are unaccounted for. 14 teams up, so, or 14 players up, so you know it's not full squads. You know the team at tree is, so that kind of factors in. Building either is missing people or the other 2 unaccounted for are missing people.
You don't think we go late?
Yeah, I mean we got late, but like
Yeah.
Where we have to go to them.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. I was just saying.
Yeah. Just try to find a box to hold or something, and then Vicious just set up. All
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So they're the similar concept.
What about right here? Yeah, on my ping. And these red boxes.
Yeah, okay.
Or if you find something better, something now.
I'm beaming these guys so hard.
Fuck. I really want back there, but they have that. Can we really play behind that? Barely. Oh yeah, I guess that's
Yeah, just try not to get cracked.
Watch
when
it
you
behind us,
do-
watch it behind us, behind us.
Alright, go.
All right, right there. They noticed that they were all looking in the same direction. The ideal rotate is going to be like a long, like cover, and they realize they're all looking in the same direction. Ideal rotate is going to be a long cover or with a wraith portal, and they realize, hey, somebody look over here. That's good. I believe that was
40. Where are you?
You're fine then.
I'm assuming that was Tsunami that had the presence of mind to point that out. Just, hey, we got to check all angles.
I'll pour it.
But
Honestly, you could go there and place your ult, and then take that ult at the portal.
yeah, we got 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Vicious.
Vicious,
Vicious,
you
go.
need to do that.
Oh shit.
Someone celled over here, watch out.
Okay, so they're getting information via sound cues. One squad's down.
Fucking. Two on us. Take four back.
All right, so that's unfortunate timing. He walked through the portal as the call was made to go back. What he needs to do here is take a step away from portal and go back in and reassess, because they have time. Zone's not right on that zone. He's gonna ride zone a bit. He's probably gonna take a tick or two.
I have to at least.
I'm out here, boys.
Put it on the left here.
Okay. Right here, yeah. So he's the one, like Tempest is the one that watched that team. He's the one that watched the team go tree and harassed the team at tree. If anybody knows that they're there, it's him. He doesn't take portal back, but he at least secures that spot at the box, but then immediately runs out of the LOS of the tree team, chasing what I assume is solo players. Solos or duos below. It's not the play there. But you got 2 up. I think you play as solos. Yeah. Good. You play as solos here. You rat it out. Once your third goes down in that situation, you rat it out for placement. You try to guarantee the second. You got 2 people working in different positions to try to get that second place, or get a lucky pick and try to contest for first.
Vicious with the.
I'm playing
Yeah, just
quiet.
chill there, dude.
Okay.
This is a pretty decent spot.
Yeah, dude. He's literally
Once
just
they
under
start
attack.
fighting, then we gotta push, alright?
Right here.
Crack that raid. Almost down the path.
Oh my god.
Okay, that's unfortunate.
I need 5. I'm chilling.
How'd they see you?
So the spot that Vicious was in, he could have called pushes for his teammate. So he's down, he has a self-res. What I would be doing right now is back up. You have space. Zone's not moving in for another minute. You back up behind the tires. Just make yourself harder to find.
I have self-res still.
Yeah, no, don't even use it.
You see right there, you're already spotted. Move. Let these 2 teams fight it out.
We get top 3 with this.
They left Wraith alone.
Maybe top 2, top down.
Honestly.
We just died
Do
to
it.
fucking
Do it.
Syrian
Oh.
Alright, so they still got second, but it's sloppy.
He's trying to finish stream.
And now they're getting memed a little bit.
They can finish.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I wasn't letting him finish me, bro.
So, yeah, I mean, they got second place. It was a little bit sloppy. I think the potential is definitely there. Yeah, I mean, just it's minor things that I can see. I mean, ranked isn't the same setting. The pacing of a scrim or a tournament prep or tournament play is going to be completely different. I think this is a more lighthearted approach to the game, but it's still played at a relatively high level. it's just like absence of mind things that I noticed just straight away. All three looking at loot bags while no one's covering, looting mid-fight or while you're being contested for your positioning, not ferrying hot swap armors. At one point I think Tempest individually was running a purple barrel on his R9, but was using the devotion to spam long range. You can easily hot swap those real quick just for the added bonus and then switch them back when you're done using the devotion. Rotations were on point. Yeah, I think they did a good job. They definitely have a great understanding of the fundamentals. It's just minor stuff. There's I think with with proper guidance, this team could do these two at least could do great things. I don't know if Tsunami is their daddy third. I don't know the whole situation behind that, but I think they definitely have the potential to do well. But I mean, in summary, to basically sum up the game, they landed lava for free. They did a good job of split looting to speed up their loot rotation into the next area. They identified zone early and played to that strong suit. They fended off their territory pretty easily with the charge laser. We'll have to look up the patch notes. I believe where this recording is a little bit is from yesterday. I believe this was pre-ammo nerf, which to be honest doesn't really affect it that much. But they did a good job of picking their spot, holding it down. They had all of the loot in the world. I wish they would have used more of it to its fullest potential. Just getting into the habit of having hot swaps ready and extra meds from being able to ferry meds from loot boxes nearby. I mean, they couldn't have had a better setup. I'm a firm believer that was their game to win. A little bit of a misplay with portal timing and walking out of LOS. I think they hold the boxes 3 and just basically defend their position with a Echo ultimate, or not an Echo, a Watson ultimate. Defend their position there behind the box from the stragglers and force that other team of 3 with the golds out from their tree cover. I think honestly was the play, but nothing's, no game is played in a vacuum. Things happen, but I would love to see some scrim VODs, maybe a more serious tone of this team's gameplay. I'd like to see their take on a do or die situation. But that's my analysis for this VOD. All of the timestamps for both the recording as well as the Twitch VOD itself will be included, and thank you for the opportunity.